We've got this pretty bad history with the map, but I promise you guys, if we just fixed one or these two little things, it might make a difference. We do have agents up right now. We are seeing the sky on the side of Nova, and it's being hovered. I don't think it's been locked in quite yet, but I am seeing a Veto.
The Astra Veto, they're doing it.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about earlier. How do you see those dynamics play out, Potter?
This is kind of a quasi-Fnatic comp here that we just saw at Chance with the Taeho coming into the mix. I love this comp. I'm a fan of it, but it requires a lot of synergy. But it makes sense for Ninetails. So instead of the Breach, they're bringing in the Taeho to be able to give that cross-map help with the missiles. I think that the Sky change, I am a fan. It's going to allow Ninetails to be a lot more mobile, take those TPs and fight towards that shower whenever they want. Both teams with the Sky, that dog really changes that TP fight.
Yeah, you can crunch back showers. There are so many different things that you can do. You're absolutely right. I think we touched on the Taeho as well, another agent you don't see very often, but the Waylay being locked in, Dryad, for the side of Ninetails. Actually, it's all locked in now.
Yeah,
what do you make of the comp?
I'm so excited to see this. We talked about Dana and how aggressive she can be. We talked about 3-3-2 as well when she's playing a little bit of that lurker, when she's playing that Viper, how much space she's getting. So now it seems like they can find a balance between the two that we've really never seen before. They were talking about that they were cooking something, so now we finally get to see it. I'm so excited.
And the more and more I think about it, the more and more excited I'm getting for Ninetails comp. I love the fact that they're leaning on the Waylay for Donna. I think that they didn't have enough Waylay coming into a month ago in the qualifiers, so I love that they're busting out the Waylay. I think Waylay is the sexy flavor of the month right now and probably the best duelist. So for Donna, she should be really comfortable on this agent.
But also, to be fair, on the side of Nova, even if this composition looks pretty simple, pretty standard for those individual picks, I feel like this is something that I would like for them to go with. We have to remember China in Game Changers, they have never won even one single map. So sometimes you just want to keep things simple and see if you can get that win that way.
And we've seen that composition, or at least a couple of different variations of it, have proven to be successful on the international stage. I think there's a lot of pressure that the Deadlock can offer, so I'm really excited to see this play out. It's almost like old school versus new school on how this sets up. So I believe we are ready to go ahead and throw it to the casters. I am getting confirmation of that either which way. I believe we are, yeah. So as we think about these comps, again, we talked about the old school versus the new school, and we touched a fair amount on the Veto and the Waylay and things like that, but we really didn't zoom in on the Veto specifically. So, Potter, I want to go to you first. What do you make of the Veto, and how does that work on the interaction, particularly alongside the Astra?
I think it's really interesting because both teams have a Sentinel, and on Bind, you don't even run Sentinels that often, at least in North America.
Yeah, sure, it's not common.
You run Bind without a Sentinel,
right.
So both teams have a Sentinel. One has 1.5 Sentinels. So this on the defense, they're definitely going to, what we talked about before, the slow game, the slow changes in this new meta. We're probably going to see it here on Bind to start in this debut.
Yeah, I think Veto certainly adds a different wrinkle to the situation, and so we are ready indeed. The maps are locked in, the agents are locked in. All that's left to do is toss it over the casters. Mimi and Ender, take it away.
Thank you very much. We're going to be jumping quickly into the match here, Ninetails versus Nova, not wasting any time with an early fight into Sam. Clem already starting this walk up, and it's Clem to take this fight up against Ever. This paint shell forces Ever out into the corner, and Nova will take the first kill of the tourney.
And that was the spike down. Only Full Moon to contain, so has to walk back in and await those long rotates from the other side of the map.
Great stall here over on B with forward deadlock wall as well, so that means Ninetails have to make some noise while Full Moon takes that kill on the B site. Things start to slow down here.
So now it becomes normal. Spike will be picked up, and time for Ninetails to work back in wherever they'd like. Getting that pick into Hookah is so big for them. Being able to not only even the odds, but recreate the question of where they've ended up. And with how they're posturing on the map, I'd expect pressure B and then TP back into that Veto late round.
Yeah, Samsami's Veto. We'll see if she can find anything through showers. But really, Ninetails have worked the clock down. We're under 40 seconds on the clock. Alyssa still has stall utility over on the B side as well. The wall can go up, Snakebite in the inventory too. So Ninetails need to be convincing, need to try and take out Alyssa here. As the stall comes down, we're on to 25 seconds now, and Ninetails have yet to do anything. They haven't created enough pressure on this side of the map, and finally, Samsami starts to work. Nova holding, still jumping. We're on 15 seconds now. This is crazy. And now the teleports come on through as the kill comes down. Ninetails don't have time to play this round. It's all winding down now with Icebox taking the offline. There's no time to even plant the spike. Absolutely no chance at all. Icebox finds 3. Can't quite get the 4th, but it's China's Nova to take the first round.
That is a ridiculous pistol round to start this tournament. Okay, what happened?
I mean, it started with this early pick, and then the map control just blew up.
Yeah, this skill I thought would be the easy way back in for Ninetails. So they get a freebie towards Hookah, they open up the map and get to play how they want, but they're so slow to actually apply that pressure towards B. They needed to be feigning that hit much earlier so they could bait out the utility and then kind of feign a second time before pivoting. Instead, they wait till the very last second and lose a round that could have been theirs.
So, Ninetails on pistols now, and they're going to have to try and find some answers to the stall that Nova have. Of course, the 4th deadlock wall this time put down on A is so good at stalling, and it's really interesting seeing Shirazi pick up that agent.
Yeah, Ninetails going to go full out showers, just trying to get a spike down, but look at this stall utility.
Exactly.
So much to keep you at bay from this defense.
The great net out from Shirazi. Now she can skirt around the left-hand side of this box and just mow down Ninetails. Keep things simple, and there's no chance for actually Ninetails to split into the site because the deadlock wall combined with this Viper orb stall things out beautifully on the A side of the map.
It is really nice stuff. There's a lot of interesting things going on with the comps that got picked. Last time, Ninetails played this map that us was talking about at some. They were running a breach comp, which in itself is already a little unusual. Now they've completely changed their ways to lock in the Veto, lock in this Waylay as well, and I think we'll have a lot of time to talk about the Veto in the second half, where I feel like he is way more impactful. On the attack side, it's a lot more. I think it almost plays a little bit like a deadlock, where so much of your impact comes like if you can get this spike down, and if you can then use the util in the later rounds and stop a retake from coming in, or if you're like conditioning something at the very start. But he's definitely a little tougher to get consistent value out of on attack.
Yeah, maybe treat him more like a chamber, how you try to get some opportunities to get some lurks going, rather than play off of the actual powerful utility in the kit.
Yeah, those TPs are quite nice to be able to lurk up, have a quick rotate back towards your team.
It's worth taking a moment to slow things down for a bit here, because Ninetails, of course, getting to play on home turf here in Seoul. Already actually packed the stadium on day 1 to see them play.
First time a Korean team has made it to GCC, and getting to do it in Lowell Park, the most iconic venue for esports in South Korea.
So, of course, winning this opener, putting up a big showing, resting in the stakes here, as well as just setting yourself up nicely in the tournament. Very different story on the other side for Nova, where you'll recognize a lot of these names. You'd see Clem play on the big stage before, Shirazi as well. And yet, a Chinese team has never taken a map at a GC championship before.
But important to note, those players not playing for China before. In this round, though, Shirazi already using util, very stuck here.
Yeah, a little double dash from Dana. It makes things confusing, but Full Moon is there with a nice kill. Icebox to fire back from backside, and then pressure into Lamps, but this Molly's a little bit too delayed, and as these shots come in, trading back and forth. Full Moon finds herself on limited HP. Eyes out from Heaven, and a snake bite to flush out bench. Nice shots from Full Moon there as well. I mean, beautifully working. The movement there is impeccable on the sky. Now Cheer left in a 1-on-2. And the star on the spike, making this bonus look nigh impossible. There comes the pull, and Cheer hoping that someone is going to swing her. Now forced to go for the half stick, but the stun is just picture perfect. Ninetails on the board.
First one for them. Ninetails, very nice just mechanics on display there. I want to look at these skills again. This was the opener. Shirazi definitely could have gotten something done, but the Waylay pulls the attention. And then it was all about Full Moon. We had 1 health for both these engagements, fighting back site. And this is the give or take of this team. Potter was talking about watching them play domestically and then losing an uncountable amount of 2v1s. They do that. They also win rounds like that, where they just send someone solo back site and kill everyone. Very aggressive team, very risky team in the way they like to play.
You'd have to be a little bit more controlled, I think, versus this defense-sided comp of Nova's. It can be very hard to break this utility, so it's important to scout out in the early rounds, figure out where the deadlock's going to be set up. Right now, Nova have 3 stacked into the B side.
Shirazi has almost always used her wall at the beginning of these rounds, though.
Clem with an op in hand. Save through that, and now completely catches out Ever. This dog comes in a little bit too delayed. Even the paint shells cancel the dog, so a big piece of scouting utility now gone.
Ninetails are going to reset away from the op. Keep enough pressure with the Sky to try and make it feel like there'll be a hit, but with how far forward Clem is posted, she's really not going to bite on this. There's still deadlock util and 2 players ready at A.
And the concern is that Nova could jump in the teleporter, so it's actually Full Moon still lurking on the B site while this exec gets underway on A. Utility pulled, and Haste has managed to slip into the site. Eventually, Ninetails are going to want to go back into Full Moon. That's a great pick. Now the teleports come on in, but Clem is still here. The shot goes just awry, but the second one connects. Clem now dancing around, but Donna shuts her out. And now 20 seconds left. It is just mayhem on the B site. There's lurks on the map, but the spike is down inside of the tube. And now Donna needs to do everything on her own. Haste is just not close enough to the rest of the team. It's another round where Ninetails get punished working late into the round, late on time. And this lurk just doesn't come soon enough.
It's going to continue to get more read into if you're trying to play like this. That's the second round that you're mentioning, where they're just calling late back into a lurk without any other options. Look at the utility that Nova has to stall. They're playing not only double controller, which is already like the standard on this map for good stall, but they're also adding the deadlock in. And that's essentially a full third stall agent, which means even if they're playing slow like this, they need to be doing more kind of feigns into sites to bait that util out, or they're going to just run into the same utility in every late hit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm counting 1 agent on Nova's comp that doesn't have, like, traditional stall, and that's Sky.
Yeah.
And even then, you've got flashes to interrupt things and keep it complicated. So it will be Ninetails here choosing to call a timeout after falling down 1-3 early on.
Yeah, but I do want to take the moment to talk a little bit about Nova, because we did go right into this game. China has never won a map in GCC. We've had 2 events where players have shown up. You might know Clem from one of them when she was playing with the EDG.
EDG, yeah.
But the rest of this team is pretty new. They were 2nd place to ALG last year, just barely missed out on the opportunity to represent China. But now they've come back in and they've stolen some players that GCC fans will be familiar with. Shirazi and Alyssa, both of who were on top teams from APAC, attending GCC. Shirazi especially has really been known as one of the veterans of that scene. So they thought, hey, we'll bring over these experienced players, we'll combine that with some of the young Chinese talent that we already have, and created a team that ran through China to qualify here.
Yeah, so fair to say that Nova have some of the highest expectations we've seen coming out of the region, coming into this tournament to close out the year here.
And what a pressure it is for Ninetails, the first Korean team to represent at one of these events, at home to open against them.
Now forced down onto the light by just a couple of sheriffs on the Veto and the Waylay.
You'll see Shirazi trying to be aggressive early rounds because you do get a refresh on that net. If you can use one early, get it again, it's good news for a deadlock.
Yeah, Ninetails couldn't really punish the suppression.
They're ulting for this.
And here we go. Donna wants something into the backside. Double dive on in, now slips on back. Cheer creating some pressure with Alyssa, and it's a good flash over the top. Nova running circles around Ninetails right now. Even with the Waylay ult coming down into the site. It's Samsami hiding over in elbow. Now cut down 3 kills for the Viper that round.
Interesting to try and invest the ultimate there. I think that they heard someone falling back into elbow, thought they could just get that double dive in and split the site players. Unfortunately, Nova had already fallen back very far here and were in a position where they were waiting for the hit to come through and just needed the one flash to get back on the line and completely circumvent that utility.
And now, Mimi, my concern is with dropping that major ultimate into the equation, Nova now have a showstopper. They've got a deadlock ult, a sky ult coming in as well. So much power in this next round.
Oh, good. You've got a man who's immune to those ultimates. Well, they used that one this round. First time that I've really gotten to see a Veto in play for a VCT global event.
Yeah.
It's really the first debut of that agent.
I mean, we've got a new agent. We've got major changes to just about every single agent available.
Yeah, I could still use more side in the mix if possible.
Clem now thinking about stepping forward. And it's a great hold from Samsami. Gets that first kill, but still Ninetails not accelerating just yet. They want to regroup with numbers and punish back into the A side.
It's a good rotate from Nova, though. They'll pull 3 players over towards this A site. Shirazi has an ultimate, has her net available as well. There is still a potent stall util on A.
Ninetails, once again, Donna into lamps. And Alyssa found 3 kills in the last round. About to be under immense pressure.
Spike planted.
Considering which fight she wants to take, is now Nova fully underway. Getting back into the site, Everlock's down in lamps. Nova only with 2 surviving. Samsami already evolved. Absolutely nothing they can do unless Icebox marches on forward.
But these players are now outside. It's the second phase of the post-plant stall with the missiles, with the pull. It's so hard to get onto that spike in time.
That smoke coming down, but that stall is still there. The fight on through. Samsami finds 3. And Full Moon gets the last. So Ninetails up to 2 now. And bounce back after a couple of tough rounds.
And they show a lot of patience that round. Just get walked into with the operator for a free opening pick. And that's what this comp is really built for. When they get in the post plants, it is so hard to beat them. Because you have players who are going to want to fight up, like the ult on display. Their first time, I think we'll see in VCT, where that ultimate actually dodges you out on a deadlock ult.
Just get to tank every single ability that's thrown at you.
Yeah, it's great into this comp because you have deadlock, you have raise, you have a brim ult as well. All of those are just trying to kill you, and you're immune.
Yeah, it's just that simple. Veto is immune. The Ninetails, well, they've noticed that Clem loves to go for these early walk-ups. We've seen it in 3 of the 6 rounds so far. As Clem just taking a timing, not to be the case this round. Instead, Ninetails push forward down long B, grab up an orb for themselves, and feel great.
There's the use of the interceptor there. Throw it up while you're grabbing the orb to prevent a Sky Flash reclear play. You often see trap plays towards long there.
Oh yeah.
And that's a hard counter.
Be fun to see how much more value that interceptor gets throughout the game on attack and defense. For now, Ninetails need to find some way back into the site. 4 players now move into B long, but a couple of sensors and the Viper wall, we've already said, is insane stall. No drone either forever, so can't shut down, suppress any players. And Alyssa, if you don't turn off her utility, is just going to absolutely carve you up. Now a showstopper comes down, haste will fall, and teleports onto the other side of the map. 30 seconds left. Nova have decided not to play anyone left into A, so the spike should go down.
They already used all their Sky utilities, so no flash, no dog to clear back in. This is going to be a tough retake, even up numbers.
Spike planted.
Ollie's down, chewing away. Full Moon's feed, a great shot out of the sky. But Clem and Shirazi out of nowhere. 2 kills instantly. Now Donna in 1-on-3 cannot see it all the way through. Bit of heartbreak though to put Ninetails right back in it.
Man, any of these players, you put them in a position like that, can get it so close. This time, not the round though. And again, this is a round that is won or lost on stall util. Think about every time you've seen this Waylay dodge. How many times has she actually stuck it? I think maybe once, if even that. She's almost always going into a player, being forced out. And because this is a solo duelist comp, there's no one else that can get through those smokes.
Yeah. You also saw like there's an Astra stun that's going down, but maybe the timing is just half a second too slow and allows Alyssa to get that first kill.
So I feel like against this stall, you need to see Donna pathing in a way where she's the one to get these openers.
Well, maybe see a bit of that this round. Tapping the orb, a little bit of bait there. As Ever moves 1 point away from the Armageddon.
Bit more forward deadlock util this round. A trap for Clem and Hookah has support deep with a rifle as well. That is a potent setup.
Clem with the judge. Luckily for Ninetails, don't appear to be heading that way just yet, but Ninetails have played a lot for the lurks.
Yeah, and I think a part of that, like you were bringing up, is the constant fear of Clem going for a walk. They're just holding, hoping they can get a free opener, like they did in that previous round. Instead, they'll have to walk into this judge.
Ooh, this could be ugly. Especially with Full Moon making some noise over on the A side. Ever's Tejo drone is going B long, so there's not a great way of clearing out Clem. That's going to force Haste to really take their time.
The net primed as well.
I mean, again, the stall is just immense.
And out she goes.
Backs away, and now the pressure onto Haste. That's an easy pickup of a rifle. No problems there, but the sight belongs to Ninetails. And now the second fight coming down into the sight. Some spam through the wall. Clem under fire and getting pinched on the map as well. A turnaround from Clem, shut down by Full Moon. And the Armageddon flushing out spawn really delays the retake.
And that gives time for Full Moon, the second rifle, to arrive.
Cheer leading the charge. Now creeping out in the back of sight, Ever traded out and through the smoke. All of a sudden, Nova tie things up. 2-on-2 now. And Full Moon playing to one, gets inside tube! The spike is inside tube! Full Moon sprinting for it, but there's just not enough time. The kill is too late, and Nova advanced to 6.
That is a catastrophe for Ninetails. I don't know why they fall back so far.
Well, they plant inside the tube because they didn't have hookah control. It's
that setup at the beginning of the round, but the issue is when you're in that position already, they used the tail ult to fight towards CT. They needed to be following that up, get a player an elbow, get a player forward towards spawn. Instead, they feel all this pressure coming and back away. I don't know if it was maybe like a miscommunication or something that they didn't think it was planted in two, but either way, that is a horrible round to lose and puts them in a tough spot. Now down on an eco.
Donna diving on forward, and that's Shorty.
Hey, those are the entries I want to see. Donna getting in there, not pulling back. Unfortunately, she couldn't pick up the gun, so still stuck with the Shorty, having to do it again.
Taking that back.
And yet with Clem falling, all of a sudden now the supporting staff have to take those forward lines. They can't have utility out in hand all the time. Have to have gun out and challenge the fight. So this could give an opportunity, whether it's the hero rifle on Full Moon or a nice shot from Haste Marshall.
Blinded.
But as the Hawk goes out and Sheer gets information, there's at least one player outside B. Ninetails shift out of that space.
Dog to create this pressure, but most of the rounds that we've seen that kind of sky push on one extremity, it has been a fake. This time, though, it pulls out the pit. That's already a win for Ninetails as they work back towards A.
How much are Ninetails going to use here? They have the numbers, and they've used ults before, even when it looked bad. Shirazi with a Spectre, and now drops down the net. Tap onto the spike, and Samsami into the smoke.
The net, there's no way out forever.
It's disgusting. Ever gets melted on the site. We're down to under 20 seconds now, but a forward fight from Full Moon. They have to pick up the spike. They have to plant it. And now with the Cosmic Divide going down, splitting up the site. Cheer can't really see anything. Haste position is beautiful. Inside showers, and it's a great shot off the back of it, too. Now inching backwards, eating up the clock. Cheer has to fight it, but the wall is even protecting Haste's own escape. A thrifty round to swing things right back to Ninetails is exactly what they needed.
You win the most heartbreaking rounds you can imagine with that misplant, and then turn it around with the eco. This opening kill for Donna was so sick. Dives in with just a Shorty in hand.
And that's a shotgun battle, honestly.
Judge v Shorty, she wins it. And in this post plan, I mean, could have gone wrong quite a few moments, but they choose to invest the ultimate, get it down safely. And when Nova is in these later round retakes, does not quite go their way.
And it's worth noting that Nova forced down there onto a SMG and a Judge, and now actually going to be faced with their first eco of the round. Getting ready for a little pop play down long. Samsami holding for it now. And that first shot connects truly. Nice work out of Ninetails. Not getting caught off guard at all here on a common anti-eco idea. And even dominating in the 1v1 in Hookah 2.
And to pull out to this match as a whole for a second, I think that they're going to feel so good if they can even get 4 or 5 rounds on this attacking side. I like this comp on defense. I think that the Veto gets a lot more potential there. You have really fast rotates with the TP. The Interceptor can completely stall a hit. I really think this is his best map right now, and defense is so much more impactful than what he brings on attack.
Yeah, especially on Bind, where everyone wants to just use an obscene amount of utility.
And think about what you have to like stall the plant with missiles, with your Veto utility, of the Interceptor to block things off, with a Waylay fighting up too. That is where they're going to feel a lot more comfortable. Question is, how many rounds do they end the half with? Because Nova has guns again. They have the ultimate as well for their deadlock, so tons of stall util here, or maybe an idea to fight up again in Hookah. This was successful previously.
Samsami also with the Veto ultimate. Gonna counter out anything Nova's thrown their way. Little pullback star. Common idea you'll see when the Astra's in the comp. Not a lot of people playing that, but the pullback stars are so good at forcing players off the lines and threatening a little extra space. Like that combo idea there with the net nade.
Yeah, nade was maybe a little deep for it to have hit anyone, but you get a lot of those ideas with the deadlock. Okay, these are the rounds that have been problematic for Ninetails, where they have this slow default, they wait for the clem push, and then they don't have someone to cancel into with baited out stall util late.
Exactly. Now there's a smoke down. Samsami can't see an angle outside showers.
The good thing is they actually have ults to go and get through the utility with this waylay.
We'll see. Nova have 2 players in elbow. We haven't seen this yet from them. Usually they're playing on backside. The walkout from Full Moon. Now we'll double dash into the site. Looks like Nova are going to be forced to play 5-on-5 retake. Dana has other ideas though.
30 seconds left.
Pushing into spawn, but can't overstay her welcome.
But she kept the ultimate for the post plant. Has a second hinder as well. That is amazing stall.
Ever as well, some missiles to play with and a refight into elbow. Hawks are everywhere. The birds are out. Yet no one goes down yet. The shots are right. Shirazi now enters into the site, plucks out a player. Nova fully in control of this site. Ninetails have been pushed away. Nothing they can do into the round. Now the spike being pressured. Dana with nothing to do. Clem finds 3 and Nova moved to 7.
I don't love how Ninetails played that post plant with how much they fell back. They felt the push from that Sky util and then fell like 3 players all the way back off site. I think when you have the waylay utility, that is your best case scenario to stay close towards spawn and block them in the choke point.
Well, I think the same could be said of the Veto ult as well. I would have expected the evolution to be popped, and then you can frontline and eat up any of that utility.
Exactly.
Don't have to worry about anything, but maybe lost there in the moment from Ninetails, so the tie at the half is no longer a possibility.
And it's Nova feeling quite good. Bit of a quicker opener for Ninetails to get this orb.
Yeah.
They've been farming that all half.
But even then, Nova aren't worried about the exec into A because they got the forward wall on short.
Yeah, this shower pressure will never feel like anything when you know short is completely free.
Samsami is looking down long. Evolves for this fight. Last the entire round. You can take over on your own. But that's only if the fights are afforded to you, and with the smoke in her eyes, the evolution can't quite counter that just yet. Give it some time.
Just this player being here is so much pressure. It's the waylay. Already in. This is just a fake.
But it's kind of working already. Shirazi has rotated. Cheer is also moving off the B site. And this has opened up a beautiful timing. Ninetails have 3 players down long. Haste in the front though, but turns around, whips that for the kill. And at the same time, Dana could still lurk into A. Could choose to fall back to the team as well, despite into spawn. Samsami with the evolution ready. Now having other ideas. Catch is primed. Full Moon here to stall. This time it's a forward hold from Ninetails. And that rocket's not going to do anything. Samsami finds 1. Now Full Moon also enters into the fight. This is looking good from Ninetails. 3-on-1 now. Cheer back against the wall. And there's just way too many angles to deal with. The first one locks it down. But still with a spike. And the star on that one. Ninetails move on to 5.
That's how I wanted to see Ninetails playing their earlier B post plants. Playing close on the choke point, abusing the utility that you get with that Veto. Very fun that in the first half of Veto getting play in this tournament, we get to see a deadlock ult and a race ult, both completely countered out. Pretty cool interactions to start, but at 7-5, that is enough to get Ninetails into comfortable territory as we get ready for the second.
Good enough. But we'll see how that second half goes right after this.
Can I help you, sir?
Here's the bill from the dealership where I got my car, and I'd like you to beat it with a better deal on one of these fine cars.
Not how it works.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal today.
Well, it's a hot start for Nova to kick things off. You can also check out a quick little look here at the Coinbase Econ report, where, frankly, Icebox started things off beautifully in this game, sitting at 12-7 on the attack side on that Brimstone. Big impact in a lot of those late round moments too, and as well as just stalling out the Spike indefinitely with multiple ults that had high value.
Yeah, it was really good. On the other side, who we were highlighting there, Full Moon had a pretty great half. And Ninetails, a lot of those early rounds had her alone on extremities, just going out and owning. But hopping into the second, it's Ninetails, our home squad, trailing by 2. It was a little bit of a later game recovery for them to get these last few rounds on the board. And now we get to see what that Veto, what that Teo composition can really do on defense.
Yeah, well, Ninetails played a lot of slow rounds on the attack, but looking at it, Nova might go with a little bit more speed here down A short. But that's where the Interceptor can provide so much value. Already ideas for that. A little quiet of a start here is actually the Interceptor just plucked the orb out of the sky, looked like.
That is a funny interaction.
That's awesome. And that's an orb you default all the time. I already like the idea, but Ever is down. The utility might not matter if the guns still connect. Nova already getting that first kill, but Donna answers back. Well, Smoke's gonna be a little bit harder to lock down. Donna will fall in showers. Keep your eyes on Samsami though, right here on your screen. Inching forward inside of the smoke. Sees another one. I mean, it's just madness on side of the site. Ace gets another kill, and now this fight into showers. A little pinch idea. Samsami will find the trade. Still early days in this post plant. With Cheer in the cubby, and Haste on so little HP. This pistol round looking like a far hope for the Korean squad.
One enemy
Oh, nice shot into the smoke. Haste might have just isolated it, but that smoke comes down at the wrong timing, and Shirazi will take another pistol for Nova.
Nova's composition is going to thrive in any post plan. So you saw them there getting the wall up from the deadlock, getting the sensors down as well into that post. It's so tough to get back in when all of those tools are in play, and talk of getting in even. It became difficult. I'm really interested to see if they stop defaulting that Viper orb with the threat of the Interceptor, because that's never something you've had to think about before, unless someone's like in the open head bumping it to get rid of that orb.
Yeah, you probably have to, and then it turns into something you hold on to play within post plants, which can also be very powerful. A little smoke pull down, and Clem just lays waste to Ninetails.
Yeah, then it's just like you're playing Haven Viper, where you're always saving it for post.
But while Nova are already cruising through this round, I think it could be interesting to talk a little bit more about what the Veto can offer here.
Yeah, we saw the Interceptor already. You, of course, have the Trip. That is just Chamber. Very similar setup, very similar positions where you'll see that Trip. But
we have
TPs,
Chamber at home.
We do, but the TPs are a little different. You can use it for fast teleports through spawn. It also lets him access the verticality in a way not a lot of other agents do on this map. So I think the main thing to watch if you're at home is when the Interceptor gets used, and in what scenarios 332 is putting that into play, and when she's, and kind of how she's setting up these TPs in the beginning, because you can get very aggressive, you can play very passive, you can set it for rotates, there's tons of ideas, and I think it's even more flexible than someone like the Chamber.
And while all that is great when you can set things up and whatnot, when you are just a little guy with a pistol and you're getting run down by 4 or 5 players, it doesn't matter what agent you play, you're going to die either way. So now with Nova winning out both pistols, winning out both anti-ecos as well, I mean, that's the difference in this game. 9-5 for Nova, the difference is 4. Ninetails need to lock in here and bring this game back.
That they do. I love the energy on both these teams. I feel like when I was watching, both of them had players who were just like hitting emotes after winning rounds. Anyways, it's not all fun for now. This is a very important round. Nova, again, fully 5 grouped. Just taking long control.
Forward smoke and massive exchange of utility. Those sheriffs, oh dear.
The hinder missed. It got caught on the skybox, and so they didn't have the utility to win that fight. And now the round is cooked.
I mean, this was the round Ninetails had to have.
And it was a nice idea for the set play. You hinder with the Sky Flash to re-clear, but the hinder doesn't hit.
And it doesn't matter if there's new agents in the mix. I mean, a million new agents that you're not used to always seeing going back to 2020 Unbind. The map has been around for forever, though, and these B-long fights have so often been a pivot point in rounds. And the fact that it goes right there for Ninetails just scuffs around that is frankly looking like a must-win.
And that might also be figuring out how Nova likes to play thus far both rounds. And also, if you watch them in China, this is a team that 5 hits a ton.
Oh, yeah.
They do not default a lot. They love running executes. So doing those kind of re-clear plays are amazing when it's 1 or 2 extremity players. Even if that hinder hits, it's probably 2 for 2 when you're swinging into that many players.
Bad news for Ninetails, but 2 players do survive into the next round, carrying through the rifles. Looking at their money, they don't have enough to invest behind it, but this fight, wow.
The smoke being down long is also very helpful because players could tuck from the flash and then swing out.
But now it's doubled 10-5 for Nova. Reminder, if you're tuning into a Game Changers Championship for the first time or not familiar with these teams, these regions, this is big news for Nova to be at double digits already. A CN squad has never won a map at the GCC. Now on pace to do just that. Samsami in trouble. 12 HP and stuck in this teleporter.
When I see players go for a play like this, I like when they throw the TP gate at pre-round towards A, and then the Veto can actually get out. She didn't have it this time, has to rely on a teammate.
Wow. Okay, Samsami evolves, and that's with the hero rifle.
Part of it might have been just wanting the heal.
Yeah, exactly. Heals from 12, I believe, all the way up to 100, but no regen armor, so not unlimited protection. A nice shot, and actually this hold may have just worked. Now, all of a sudden, the evolution making way more sense. Alyssa and Shirazi already into the site, and Samsami making this massive flank on the Veto. Hayes with the classic, sees a barrel, and now Ever gets a kill. Ninetails might have just done it. Might have given themselves a second lease on life. Shirazi just doesn't have the time to play with. Needs to somehow get to the other side of Octagon, but worried about a flank coming in. Worried about these players in front of her. Now a jump peek spots her out. Ever is clean to slip around the other side and steal this round for Ninetails.
That is wild. This is the one that they win. Just some impressive work with the pistols in this opening fight.
Wow,
Was
fighting
so
through
quick
the aim punch
from
there.
Samsami, yeah, gets dinked, still wins it. And then in the late round, Full Moon, tucked into the corner and managing to shut this hit down.
Is this the sign of things to come? Because this is now 2 times that Ninetails have tried the forward fight. First down B long, this time with that teleport play through on Samsami.
I don't know if it will be the solution, but I think those are the kind of rounds that get you in, and proactivity is good with this comp.
And an answer into the refight is an operator on your duelist. Clem picks that up.
So this is the playing Veto a bit like a chamber. Get in an off angle, have a TP to get out.
Oh, Alyssa about to walk into a little 1-2 piece. Could catch the jump, and that's a nice shot. Alyssa taking low, the swing from the other side, and over on B long too. Samsami finds a kill, and that's the operator out of play.
And they just hold on for the aggression and manage to absorb it with this extremity control. And that might be the way to play. Flip it on aggression.
Yep.
It either works or you lose.
3 rounds in a row. And eventually Nova have to adjust, but for now, trying to carve way into this B site. Icebox is in the thick of things and holding it down. Good trades. Make things a 2-on-2, and with that deadlock wall going down, a sensor place too. Ninetails only have one way into the site, and it's through elbow. It's through another sensor. And now the Seekers too, revealing the positions of the last 2 players.
They'll group up on site, isolated 2v1 towards spawn.
Shirazi. Waiting for the swing, that's good! And turns it right back around. Haste, Team Seekers even, but Sheer will take Nova to 11.
Very chaotic back and forth round. throughout the entirety of that one. But again, it's the aggression. It is the make, it is the break of this game for Ninetails, trying to re-clear, but once they're up in a 5-on-3, that's where things start to go wrong. You see Samsami getting picked there, and then one by one swinging back in to try and get these trades. And it's all just a little bit too off-kilter.
Cool. Let's go.
I think where Ninetails really loses out is they're very good at the initial aggression, at getting a pick, at having the right kind of set play to achieve that. But where they struggle is figuring out when to kind of turn it down a little bit and play back more passive and not give these picks away.
And they call a timeout to start discussing some of these things. I also think it's worth noting that even if Ninetails have a numbers advantage, if Nova are able to set up in a post plant with the deadlock utility, it is so hard to get back into the site, especially that B site, unless you're challenging on the flank. That's really your only answer.
Because it's not even just a deadlock, it's brim smokes, 20 seconds, and you're going to have another one up most of the time to be able to use as well. And you're also, because of the threat of that interceptor, Alyssa is going to be more often saving her orb for the post plant, which is even more stall util.
So with that round slipping away, Ninetails once again put in a precarious position. The buy is a little bit all over the place, but Ninetails know how much rests in the balance of this round.
And how fast will it be towards A? If they try and just send it, an interceptor is ready. That could even eat Clem's ult.
An early bird down B long heard absolutely nothing, so Ninetails are going to rotate quickly. A teleport through Full Moon is just sending it. Has some support from Samsami, but now the pickoff from Samsami is there. Ninetails trying to do a little bit of push and pull, a game of tug of war in showers. At the same time, Clem has wrapped all the way through the site, chasing down at Samsami, who survives through it all. Now Haste outside of the smoke. Ninetails creating chaos everywhere, but it's Nova in the advantage. It's Nova without control of the site, though. That's what they gave up for this play.
It's evened out. 3 players holding towards the shower side. Now we'll fall back and explore the rest of this map.
I mean, let's take stock quickly here because Icebox has an ultimate in the event of a post plant. You have Shirazi, who's making a beeline over onto this site. No one's here now with the wall going down.
The crux of this game has been the retakes. Ninetails win early, but they struggle to get back in. And now, deadlock util in their face. Who will be the one to step up? Who can get them out of this choke? Because look, a Molly, a net ready. It feels almost insurmountable.
Well, there's about to be a sky opened up too. Ninetails already under pressure, and at the same time, Clem has elbow control. Nova playing deep. They're not even going to stall out this choke because they know they have the utility in the post. Ninetails taking their time. The time will be their enemy. A second stun. Pulls the players off the plant. And now from backside, Clem has found her mark. Donna nades in her face. Pressure mounts. There's nothing she can do. Clem and Nova move on to 12.
Such a big counter out for Nova. This team, again, the crux of these rounds is just coming back into the late stages here, where Ninetails goes through something aggressive. They get these opening picks, but then Nova holds on. They find the next area of the map to take. They get set up in the post plant. And now a round away from what would be the first map win for a Chinese team at GCC.
I mean, that's why it matters so much here for
It really
Nova.
does.
And Ninetails too. Playing at home in Seoul. Getting shocked a little bit in this opening map. Nova keeping the heat. Look at Sand though. Alyssa was waiting for the Veto to walk it down. They don't even need control out of Hookah. Fumon's only got a Sheriff. I don't care how good she's been all day.
And very little help. Only 2 players here already getting spotted out.
I mean, that's a big reposition. Sneaking up into Hookah. And now with wall going down, she'll hear all the teleports coming onto the A site. 2 players from Ninetails will stick around. Haste has to be massive. Haste has to get it all done. That's a great shot. Falls back. Dodging the flash. Ratting it out for now. As the pit comes down, those shots not connecting.
Spike planted.
Now Nova huddled together. Pack of wolves. Seeing a gun barrel on the other side of the smoke. It's a mess! Donna will start things off. Ninetails moving on forward. There's a flank starting to activate. Full Moon has almost found the timing on the backstab. Waiting for it. Gone out, isn't looking the right way! It's Heartbreak! And Alyssa will get another! For the first time ever at the Game Changers Championship, a CN representative will win a map, and it's Nova Esports.